Welcome to episode 2 of the Copium Take. I'm here. I'm your host, Drew. I'm here with Jake and Jonah. Not going to give them the opportunity this time to say hi because they fucked it up last time.
It was flawless.
They fucked it up. Jonah was
No.
pissed, and Jake says it was intentional. I don't think it was. I think he was a complete and utter liar.
We all cap. It's Copium.
Yeah, it's Copium. Jake was Copium. Jake's like, I meant to. It's comedy relief.
True.
So
But don't listen to him. This is in episode 2. Don't go watch episode 1.
don't go look for episode 1. We suck.
Don't do it.
We'll be, we're just trying to get better every episode. That's all that matters. At the end of the day. And if we get worse, we quit.
I think this is the peak right here.
This is the peak. This is the peak and the downslope at the same time.
We're burning out early.
Burning out early.
Yeah.
Well,
Started at the bottom and we stayed.
we stayed at the bottom. We never made it to the top. Drake's a liar. Alright, so this episode, guys, we're jumping in, man. I think this is the point of the summer where everyone's like, all the sports suck, and there's no hope, unless you kind of like baseball, but even now this is boring baseball. But we're going to start talking about NFL. We're going to start putting that hopium in
The
our
All-Star
brains.
breaks this weekend.
Jonah,
In
shut
what
up.
sport? Are you
No
talking
one
about
cares.
baseball?
No one
It's
cares.
not real.
It's not real. I honestly agree. And the fact that the World Cup is in December is a travesty. So, dead period. We're jumping into football. We're gonna talk the AFC and NFC South. Do a little division previews.
The two strongest divisions in the NFL.
Two strongest in divisions, and we're gonna throw them into some tiers. But before that, we're gonna jump into. We've had a little bit of NBA news. Nothing big. Still waiting on the big pieces to fall. Some people in this pod think that they won't fall, but I think I have hopium, and I have copium that the Heat will land one of them. I'm both. I got two tanks behind me, and I'm taking them both at the same time.
Wow.
I'm not sure if it's
Shut
a
up,
real
Jonah.
sport.
Shut up. All right, we're gonna start
I was
here.
not expecting that level of copium.
And hopium. Don't forget the hopium.
Oh,
So we got the Suns. The Pacers offered DeAndre Ayton a contract, and the Suns matched it.
they said nope.
They said no. My quick thoughts on this, if we're trying to keep this quick, my quick thoughts are, I think it was a good idea by the Pacers. I mean, that team would have been pretty cool. It'd been very interesting with like Halliburton, Ayton, Duarte. Like, there's some cool pieces there. They would have moved Turner. Maybe they probably wouldn't have got a player for Turner. It probably would have just been picks. But there'd have been some cool young pieces on a young team with a good coach. Like, some cool stuff could have happened with the Pacers.
I think what would have happened is it would have
been.
been a sign and trade. Miles Turner ends up back on the Suns.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, for sure.
That's what I was going to ask is how would it have worked with Turner? I was wondering, like, neither one of them are very position flexible.
I don't
right?
ever
They're both
remember
pretty
them
centers.
saying that was going to happen, but maybe it was. I always knew that they were going to. You knew he was going to move. I mean, like Jake said, they're not position flexible. They would have been stuck. So they would have moved Turner for sure. But the Suns matched it. Honestly, I feel like they had to match it. They may be overpaid for him than what they did that they wanted, but that's just kind of how it goes when you have these restricted free agents that you don't really want to sign the summer before. Like, they're going to get overpaid, and you're going to have to make that decision. So, I don't know. Anything else to say about the Suns side?
I think this is like the ideal scenario for the Suns. They got to pay him. They got to give him only 4 years because the whole sticking point was that Ayton wanted a 5th year on the max, and it's a lower max than what they originally could have signed him for.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Great.
think my guess would be though you're burning a little bit of a relationship with him here. I'm sure he ain't super excited about it. So in terms of like, why wouldn't y'all just pay me? If
Well,
you
he
believe
did.
in me?
That was they didn't want to pay him. He could have been paid last year, and they didn't do it. So I think he either got over it and he played the whole year, and I don't know. It wasn't bad. He was pretty good.
Yeah, that's my. I mean, my thing is, I just feel like you can only go so long where you're refusing to pay this guy before it comes to a head. But maybe
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say is, like, I feel like the Suns can't. Like, Chris Paul is going to retire at some point, and to have Devin Booker and Ayton kind of be the two pieces, and, Mikal Bridges might get better, probably will get better. Or is it Mikal?
Mikhail.
Mikal Bridges, yeah, he'll get better, and I feel like Ayton had to do it. Suns forced their hand. One more thing, actually, one last thing. I don't know if you know, Jonah. Does this mean Ayton can't be traded in the KD trade now? Because that's what I was like.
I believe he cannot be traded until just January 15th, I think it is.
Okay. So in your mind, you still said you think KD would not
I'll
even
get to that in
traded
just
at
a
all,
second. I want to go back to what Jake was saying. The owner who was refusing to pay him, Robert Sarver, is in the middle of being investigated by the NBA. There's a 50-50 chance that the NBA is going to force him to sell the team. So the relationship will probably be fine going forward.
Okay.
Copium,
Well,
but okay.
Yes, the KD thing.
yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. If nothing happens, I feel like the Suns did what they needed to do.
I think this pulls the most important piece off of the trade package for
Yeah.
KD. So
Yeah, I agree. So let's move. We're gonna quickly again touch on the Donovan Mitchell stuff. There's been a lot of stuff come out since we did our last pod. Big news is they've started out saying Donovan Mitchell, our guy, our guy. Now they're like, well, I don't know. We might move him.
Let's not act like that wasn't what they were. They were like, he's our guy, unless. They're like, they never started strong.
That's true.
You were
That's
never
true.
like, he's untouchable.
Yeah, I agree. So, a lot of rumors. My Heat are involved again. There's some rumors that the Heat are going out across the league looking for trade partners to pick more picks up.
what do you? Oh, more picks. Okay,
Yeah, that was
how you're gonna do it.
That was the rumor I saw the other day because they said the Jazz have already said the Tyler Hero, Donovan Mitchell, and picks that we have now, and I think there was a young guy included too that they said that wasn't enough. So I don't know. And then the Knicks are big there. The package is kind of it's like Obi Toppin and like another young guy in their picks, which I feel like would be more interesting towards the Jazz because the Knicks are bad. At least if you get the Heat picks, I mean we're usually we're okay usually. So I don't know.
It's interesting because I heard somebody throw out R.J. Barrett, and apparently the Jazz don't want to trade for R.J. Barrett because they'd immediately have to pay him.
Well, that kind of I mean I don't that makes sense to me if you're the Jazz because
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like I think that's why they don't want Tyler Hero.
well, that's true too. Well, it's also funny too because I think I was listening to a few other podcasts of mine, and a lot of them were talking about how the Knicks fans are just like, they're like, we want Donovan Mitchell, but R.J. Barrett can't go, and it's like, I don't know, it's weird. Donovan Mitchell, I think personally the Jazz will move him. I think he's more likely to move than KD.
I mean, you have to at this point, right?
I think so too. I think you move him.
I don't know.
The Jazz are
you
easily
treated-
the most fascinating team to me at this point because they have so many players in that roster that will garner a first-round pick in a trade.
Yeah, because you can move
They
him.
can trade like 5 players and get
Yeah.
a first-round draft pick at minimum. For 'em.
Him, you can move him. He's gonna get you picks. He's gonna get you multiple.
Oh yeah.
Package of like Clarkson and Pat Bev will get you at least one.
I think each of them alone will get you one. I think
really?
you can convince Dallas to give you a first-round pick for Pat Bev.
And this is what it's Danny Ainge, right? He's the Jazz guy now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He loves his shit.
Trader Danny.
It's what he does. So I think he'll be on the move. I mean, I think that's basically all we have to really say until something happens. But anyone else have anything to add before we jump into NFL? Voice crack. Let's go.
Well, just like they kind of have to move it. Like they've treated him indirectly bad here. It's like you're asking a girl, you're going to prom with a girl or something, and you're like, well, so yeah, I'll go with you, but let me go check if this girl wants to go first. If she says yes, then I'm going with her.
Hey,
like, there's no way you can just keep this dude at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it is weird.
I don't think it's.
No, you go, Johnny. You go.
I don't think it's quite like that because I think Donovan Mitchell has been kind of asking to be traded for a little bit now.
So that's the part I don't know about.
I think he's pushing.
If he's been trying to get out, then fair enough. But otherwise, it's like, hey, we're committing to you unless we get something we like better.
Yeah, it's super weird because it's like he kind of did. It's like weird because he did get what he wanted. Him and Gobert didn't get along. That's clearly, even though they reconciled. I mean, all the reports halfway through the year were like everyone in the Jazz were tired of this passive aggressive bullshit. So he moves Gobert away, and now they're like, but I feel like they moved Gobert away, and then they got back what they got back, and they're like, man, we got a lot of picks, but not many good players, and it's like we're not going to be that good. let's just let's just fire sale, get rid of everybody, and just play with what we're gonna get. I don't know. I feel like it makes more sense for Utah to just move on, send Mitchell away, and see where the future. I mean, this is what Danny Ainge does. I mean, he turned all those picks into a finals team with the Celtics, even though he's not there anymore. But
Send him to the Trailblazers. Give Damian Lillard some help. That won't happen, but that's my Copium.
A funny stat on that Donovan Mitchell Rudy Gobert relationship.
oh yeah, they didn't
Last
pass to each other?
season Donovan Mitchell averaged less than one pass a game to Rudy Gobert.
I feel like that's the most bullshit stat, but I love the copium and the narrative it makes. I love it. I feel like that's such a nonsense stat, but he hated him. That's all I'm gonna get from this. So yeah, I think we've done our business. We're gonna jump into NFC or NFL South.
Explain the tier
division.
list.
AFC South.
I'm gonna explain
AFC South in the NFL.
Yeah, jump in leagues.
Okay. We're gonna do a tier list as we kind of go through these each team in these divisions. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do, like I have it on here: contenders, playoff team, playoff hopeful, outside looking in, Ratbirds, top 10 picks. So I think what we're also gonna do with this, we're gonna, as a group, we're gonna make this, and at the very end, before the season starts, we're all gonna individually make one, and then we're gonna see who does the best. Are we best together? Or are we best separate? I think these two are idiots, so I think I will do the best by myself, and these guys will do nothing but hold our group down.
I'll guarantee either a dub or at least one of us will be funny.
Okay, that's good. That's good, Jake. I like it.
Yeah.
So, and I think
it's going to be the best in one of two categories, either accuracy or comedy.
We don't have all the rules made up, so we're definitely going to make them along the way. So yeah, I think before the season, I think we'll also, a little rule as we go is I think we'll be allowed to move teams each week as we go, because we're gonna do the South next week. We'll do whatever we end up, our next pod.
Oh, you're saying before the season? I thought you were saying once season starts.
No, once season started, this shit's locked in. I don't give a fuck. If week 1 Aaron Rodgers goes out there and fucking throws his arm out, hey, sucks to suck. Hope you had him in Ratbird.
Hey, Jordan Love.
Jordan Love. Oh, nope. You better. Is there anything lower than Ratbird? But
no. They're not just dead at that point. They might drop from contender or whatever to like.
You could just make
playoff
a new category: Packers without Aaron Rodgers, or Packers with Jordan Love. That could be category 6.
And maybe we'll jump halfway through the season. We'll jump in. We'll maybe move stuff around. It won't change what happens with what our projections were, but maybe it'll make us look a little bit better. I don't know.
Yeah, we can do it again after the trade deadline.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be able to lock in. It's gonna be the exact same because I'm gonna be dead accurate.
Yep, Jake can see every injury before it happens. It's wild. But
Sure.
Let's jump in. AFC South. We're gonna jump in with maybe not an interesting team.
the Houston Texans.
The Houston Texans.
I mean, if you like washed up running backs, it's an interesting team.
That's true.
Hey, if you like
2 years in a row,
if you like having a QB with no legal trouble, it's a good team.
What about Jeff Driscoll? He's a Gator. They're kind of fucking rats.
Yeah, he's technically not a Gator. Technically, Louisiana Tech. Transferred out. Hey, another Florida QB in the NFL. Love it. We'll talk about multiple today.
Yep. All right. So, I mean, I'm honestly looking at this list kind of for the first time because I don't really care about the Texans. Looks like Brandon Cooks is still there. Poor guy.
Marlon Mack, I think, is interesting. I mean,
I think Brandon Cooks is in a nice situation.
He produced well for the Colts.
Christian Kirksey used to be good. So, Steven Nelson, he played for the Steelers at one point. He's pretty good. He actually was really good for the Steelers. Yeah.
Y'all just hated on the Texans.
Oh wait, I forgot the Texans did get Desmond King for nothing.
Yeah, they re-signed him.
Wait, I forgot he got traded. Wait a second. We're going way back, but the Titans traded Desmond King to the Texans in division?
I thought he was a Charger.
Yeah,
I thought he was on the Titans at one point.
I think he was at
Yeah, he like his first game he got like a pick or something if I remember right.
He was what? No, he was Chargers.
Oh.
Then he was Titans. Then he was Texans. I'm pretty
I think
sure.
he got traded to the Titans, and the Titans didn't re-sign him.
Oh, well, that doesn't matter. Who cares? I think we should probably look into their draft. It's probably a lot more interesting. A lot more interesting.
That's where you have their top corner. You have a guy who probably should start on the O line for them. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued by Kenyon Green. I think he's a very interesting piece for that line.
And then this the fast Alabama guy?
It's not the fast. If you're assuming
okay.
of the dude who won the Heisman, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Who was already out of, or who was with the Eagles last year?
Okay. No. I thought there was a guy that was like really fat. I don't know. You know, talk about this Gator, Jake. Gator.
I know Damian Pierce. He's running back. My hot take with him is I think he will be the 2 for them at the very least by end of season. I mean, they have Marlon Mack, they have Rex Burkhead, they have him, they have Dea, they re-signed someone else too. Oh, Royce Freeman. I don't know what his offense production will be for them this year per se, but he will play a lot of snaps for them, whether it's offense, special teams. He'll be a special teams guy for them for sure.
Yeah.
And then I think he'll eke into at least the 2 spot at running back.
Yeah.
He's a baller.
I think my take is the Texans have done a quietly solid job at fixing the mess that was made by a unnamed coach. Let's just say we'll leave him. Let's not hurt him. Leave him how he be. But really left him in destitute.
He's been trashed enough.
They've done okay. I feel like because that team, the Texans are real bad. I mean, they're rocking with Mills too again.
Davis Mills
I don't
was
think
good.
Mills is as bad as people make.
Davis Mills was good. I think there's a solid chance that he can develop into a like Derek Carr level player.
Okay, then I want.
And I think they did a lot. They did a lot to keep weapons around him, and I appreciate the direction they're taking.
I want your Copium tank for this season, Jonah. Texans.
Oof.
What's your
Copium take? 7 wins.
7 wins? What? How does that happen? I need some Copin to tell me how this is gonna happen. Some narratives that have to happen for them to be good.
Brandon Cooks has like 1,500 yards. Marlon Mack goes back to Pro Bowl 4.
That's a lot of yards. Dang, that's and then what? Derek Singler or whatever Jr. just picks every ball off that goes his way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this team.
I don't know that the defense is ready.
Yeah.
I think the defense is really gonna hold it back. I think the offensive line needs a little more development. They just need to keep piece by piece improving. I mean, next year is going to be great for them with their draft, and we'll see where they're at.
Oh, so you saying they're a top 10 pick? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I have to agree.
So I am.
It doesn't really matter what Jake says, but we'll.
Yeah, I know we're not changing it, but this is one of the ones I think is really interesting. I cannot decide where to put them. But
I will say they're probably 7 or 8.
I think I would probably put them in outside looking in. I think I would consider putting them into playoff hopeful.
What? Really?
I don't know what it is. I think they're rebuilding. I think the defense. I'm the opposite on the defense. I think the defense is going to kind of put it together a bit and be decent. I think Cooksy's a bit.
Can you give me one D lineman for them?
Jonathan Gennard from Florida. Rasheem Green, Ross Blacklock, Malik Collins.
I see. I don't know.
I mean, all really good talented dudes.
So you think?
100%.
So if I tell you over under 5 wins, you're going over?
Yeah, I think so.
Without looking at their, I know the schedule could definitely change that, but just
I think so. Yeah, like I said, I'd probably put them in outside looking in. I can envision a scenario where this Texans team. Marlon Mack has always put out pretty good production as a second back. I don't know if his progression boosts being in the lead guy, or if it's, hey, he's just not that guy. So
You're
a
not
lot
gonna
of that depends on it. Their O-line should be solid. That should be a good offensive line.
Okay. Well,
And then you have Davis Mills, who was realistically probably probably the second best rookie quarterback last year playing.
yeah. Is this your
And
Copium
then
take or is this just your Jake take?
this is probably Copium.
Okay.
Probably Copium. You have Brevin Jordan, who had a great rookie year. He is the second best tight end in that draft class. And had a lot of great production for them. Good athlete, good everything. You bring Mechie in, a really good receiver who's a really good leader, like a good culture guy. Brandon Cooks has obviously been doing his stuff. I think like Chris Conley and that addition is a big add as a secondary option. He comes in and he can do stuff for you. Like he's always been decent for the Jags when he was playing.
Yeah.
I just think you have enough on offense that you can get the ball moving, and with the defense. And then I think there's just going to be a team that really plays well in all three phases.
Okay.
And it will give them chances to win games they probably shouldn't normally.
Well, we got.
I think we're similarly optimistic about them. I just don't think their defense is as good as you do, and I don't think their offensive line is ready.
We
I think
both see
they're
them
a
getting
year
to the
away
same
from
spot.
being on that outside.
I just think they might get there quicker.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, Jake's opinion don't matter because he got out. So this is the group's pick. I think we're gonna move on. I honestly think we talked about the Texans more than I thought we would. So hey, if you're a Texans fan listening, hey, good for you. We're gonna move on to the Jags. Let's skip all these guys. Okay. Scroll down. The Jags are a little.
Right. All that money they dedicated to wide receiver.
The Jags to me are definitely a little bit more interesting than the Texans. I think like Jonah alluded to, Christian Kirk got a bag. A bag. Oh, they got Jake's favorite tight end in the league, Evan Ingram.
I mean, not favorite, but
That's true. It's not his favorite. We might talk about his favorite later, but Evan Ingram.
There's a chance we just don't.
Cam Robinson got paid. Cam Robinson's a really good tackle, I feel like.
yeah, it's another O line that is really good.
Yeah, especially
Upgrades.
It's a great pickup.
I do think they on the other side will be lacking a bit. Left tackle with Cam, they'll be good. Left guard and center is where they have their issues, I think, personally. But
yeah, so
when Brendan Scherf's getting up in age,
I think I think Etienne should have essentially his rookie season this year, so that see how that goes. See if they'll continue with like.
Yeah. How do you say his name?
Isn't it Etienne?
Etienne.
I think he's going to be a tremendous wide receiver for them because they desperately need one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have They did end up losing Clark.
Yeah, they just let him walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
DJ
not.
Chark.
They got 5 guys that aren't terrible. I mean,
I don't think there's anybody on this roster right now better than DJ Chark.
I like Chenault a little bit more than Chark, especially last season. Chark kind of just
Chenault can do more for you, I feel like.
I mean, if their 3 main guys are Kirk, Chenault, and Etienne with Evan Ingram, like I still think I'm in between.
Wait, who'd you say for the core 3?
Like if Etienne, because Etienne, I mean,
Oh.
I guess we don't really know what he's gonna do because all the rumors and stuff were with the old guard, and now we have a new guard. So it's like I don't really know what he's gonna do, but I feel like they're still gonna use him as like a third down S back, and if he's really that talented, then he's gonna get more opportunities, maybe to play like a weird.
I think you could tell.
I think he's the starting slot receiver.
Do what?
I think he's the starting slot receiver.
What did you
I
say?
think he's the starting running back.
Really?
I just don't see like I don't think that's the proper use of the talent on the team to make him the starting running back.
I think he is really good, and I think
I do, but I think you're just saying that the second best offensive player you have in James Robinson is just an afterthought in your plans.
Yeah, I'm not sure if James Robinson's your second best.
I mean, maybe you could argue Trevor Lawrence is better.
Yeah, I think we should.
But
we haven't really. We've avoided Trevor Lawrence, but I think this is I need some steps by Trevor. I'll look away last season. He
had a very Peyton Manning-esque rookie year.
Yeah, I want him
and that's the Copium take.
Not turn the ball over, and He's got I mean, he honestly has weapons. He has weapons. Like I know
Jake,
maybe.
who do you think's number 2 then?
I mean, you have 8 skill guys that you should be comfortable when they have the ball in their hand. And I'll say 7. I won't count Treadwell. Treadwell can get the ball,
Wow.
but you can't really. He won't do much with it.
No,
after.
Treadwell. I don't even know how he's in the league, bro. This guy's the biggest receiver bust of all. He was like a top 10 pick by the Vikings.
Yeah, but I mean, Zay Jones, good athlete.
Zay
Marvin
Jones isn't bad.
solid receiver. Laviska Shenault, really good athlete. Christian
Treadwell was
Kirk,
picked
solid
23rd.
Yeah, out of Ole Miss to Minnesota. And then Etienne and Robinson, and then you have Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram with the ball in his hand is good. His issue has been having the ball in his hand.
I don't think he's even the best tight end on the team. I think Dan Arnold is better.
Evan Ingram studs. It's not a competition, I don't think.
I think it should be. I think if you're right, I think the Jaguars are screwed.
Like I said, I meet in the middle. I mean in the middle.
I think that's mismanagement of the players.
All right. I think.
Oh shit, they've still got Jamal Agnew.
All right. Let's talk.
Ooh, that's a fun weapon. That's a fun wild card player.
Yeah. Let's talk about their
Ooh.
draft a little bit. I mean, the draft was weird. I felt like, honestly, looking back at it.
Ron Walker's a dude. My guess is they probably use him well. I mean,
You think?
I have no faith in the
wrong.
Jacks. I just have no faith in the Jacks.
But
What do you think is using him right then?
I think they'll try to do. I mean, they'll use him as the backer in a 3-4 set, which he can do. I mean, he's a good athlete. He's going to be able to do what they ask him to do. I just.
You
don't
think
know
they're not
if
going to just have him rush?
I mean, he will primarily rush, but it's going to be out of a 3-4, I would imagine. So there's going to be times he'll be asked to drop on occasion, I would think.
I mean, wasn't that the whole point though? Is like he's super athletic that he can adapt to that role.
He can do that. I just don't know if that's his best usage.
You really think? Wait, I haven't heard this shit at all. What the fuck? What? I thought
What?
Trayvon was like put his fucking hand in the dirt and get upfield in the middle of the line. I
No,
didn't
no,
think he
you're
was gonna be
thinking-
outside at all.
He's a DN, but
But he
Well,
played
Dom,
inside
that-
for Georgia though, didn't he?
no, you're thinking of the other guy who everyone thought was going to go first initially, the big dude. Why am I thinking? Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis is like the 340-pound interior guy they had.
Okay. But well, regardless, you don't think
Who
him
was-
and Josh Allen should be a good pairing?
I think it'll be a good pairing. I think having a true DN, like Chase Young type DN, is such a bigger wrecker on the field than a linebacker walk down type style. I'm just not a huge fan of like 3-4 end hybrid stuff. I think you're.
But isn't that what
taking
Josh
away-
Allen is? Or was? I mean, no.
Yeah, that's what he is in the defense. But that's my point. Is one of them's
But
going
he's
to be
played
weak side, one strong side.
But he's been so good.
one of them. Yeah, my point is only one of the two of them is going to be consistently coming.
Wait, I feel like they'll both go a lot.
Well, so not if it goes where one's the weak side backer and one. I mean, if you're doing a 5-man pressure, obviously. But if they're going 3-4 is what everyone thinks they're doing defensively, and weak side backer, strong side backer. That means you have your left side in, your right side in, and your nose. So those three are going, and then you have Allen playing weak side backer hypothetically, and Trayvon playing strong side backer. So when you're doing a 4-man rush, only one of the two of them's going.
I think Trayvon will go in. I think he won't be the nose, but he'll be like an in hybrid type of player. That'll be. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that he's too athletic to just use there within their defense. Those guys have to be bigger because it's the 3-4. I don't know. Maybe they'll switch it up. Maybe they'll do something different. I don't know.
I'd be very curious to see if they could have him do the versatile role that Micah Parsons had. See if they could successfully have him drop back and rush at times.
Jonah, we're not a Cowboys podcast.
Are you saying
Don't ever fucking bring him up again. Never. Unless I
he's gonna be brought up every episode?
Wait, I want to know what Jonah was about to ask.
Would you have rather seen them take Aiden Hutchinson?
Well, it depends. Not if they're going 3-4, probably not, because I'm not sure if that makes more sense. This pick probably makes more sense for going in a 3-4, but that doesn't mean I necessarily think it's where he's going to excel the best or where their defense will excel the best.
I honestly think thinking about it right now, I think getting the guy that might have more upside is very weird. When you have like Trevor Lawrence back there, like if you have Trevor Lawrence, who's by all standards is going to be a guy, that's meaning you're just going to get better every year. Why wouldn't you pick the guy that's like going to be that have like the the highest floor?
Because I think they're still at that point where they need to just keep trying to go for those home run picks.
But do you think
I
that
also
do
just
you think that
don't.
says they lack a little bit of trust in Trevor?
No, I think they're being realistic. They've got 5 years where Trevor Lawrence is cheap to pay, and he's just not there yet. He's not ready to win this year. He could be next year,
I also
But
but
just
I
you
doubt
don't
it.
have first round pick. You don't have the first overall pick every time. You know what I mean? I just think it's weird to shoot for the stars with the first overall pick when you could just get a guy that's like gonna probably be in the league for 10 years and be solid. And he could get better. Like I never understood that narrative throughout it's such a draft narrative that's like this guy's the higher floor, but he will never be good. He'll never be like amazing. It's like what do you mean? Like he's the first overall pick for a reason. You know what I mean? I never got that narrative, but I don't know. I thought they should have gone with the other guy, but
I also just am a little confused because I don't know where, and like maybe they just didn't like how he performed, whatever. They don't think he's gonna be a dude or whatever. But you kind of with their defense and with their picks and who they have on their roster, like I don't know where they use the I don't know how to actually say his name, Clavion or whatever, the guy from LSU they drafted last year, like
oh yeah.
mid first.
Yeah.
Like so now because that dude was more of an outside backer too. And you have Josh Allen, you have Trayvon. Maybe they do try to force Trayvon in at a down then and let Flavon play the outside backer role. I don't know. I feel like I feel like they're wasting bodies and kind of.
Well, so I think
Yeah, it feels like they spent their first round draft pick drafting the same player 2 years in a row.
yeah. I think all right, so let's throw
This
this
one's
team
probably better, but
Oh,
let's
definitely better, but still the same position, same
yeah.
player.
Let's go ahead and rank this team. I'm gonna give my copium take, and I'm gonna fuck up our group's ranking by giving it a copium take, and they're gonna go higher than they should. So you guys need to bring them back down or accept that.
so well, are you saying playoff hopeful?
So I'm saying Trevor Lawrence is gonna take a next step. We're talking like I'm talking like 30 and like 12 is what I want from him this year. I want his weapon
12.
Oof.
30 and 12. And I think I want him to have like I want him to be
I see more of a Jameis Winston 30 for 30.
I want him to be fighting like 7 to 8. They're going to be like they're going to have 7 to 8 wins sitting there towards the end of the season fighting for this playoff hopeful. That's what I'm saying. That's my copium take. I'm trusting Trevor. I'm trusting Etienne being back and he's going to be electric. He should get rookie of the season since they should have the NBA's rule where it's like if they don't play their rookie year, then they still have an eligible ability to win rookie year, like Blake Griffin did that one time. That's what the NFL should have. That's what's gonna happen. What do you guys think?
So ironic enough, I have not said a positive thing about the Jags. I don't hate them. I just don't really like their defense. Their defense feels like it's going to be all over.
I feel like you said a lot of positive things about their receivers.
And I think they're going to be good on offense. So I don't necessarily hate them in playoff hopeful. I'd probably put them in outside looking in.
I would also put them in outside looking in.
Bastards. I was trying to take points.
I think the defense has a lot of cool pieces, and it's going to be carrying the team. I don't think Trevor Lawrence will be able to put up amazing stats because I really don't have any faith in that receiving core.
You know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm taking a copium on this one. I'm putting them in playoff hopeful.
Let's go!
I'm saying
Jonah.
let's see if maybe the defense puts it together. Maybe the defense surprises me and they use guys better. Maybe they hop him inside, he does well, and then they put Clavon at the outside backer and everything fits perfectly and they get it going. Maybe they just figure it out somehow. But
you've been
the offense.
I do find it funny that Jake and I have the exact opposite opinions on this team. I have more faith in their defense than their offense by a lot.
Yeah, you have good O line. Your interior O line is scary a little on the one side, but
I have faith in both cores.
yeah, you got a quarterback that I think super highly of. You have a running back I think super highly of. You have another running back that can play solid, obviously.
I got a good question before we jump into the Titans next. Is Trevor Lawrence? Is he the best quarterback in the South? Is he the second best quarterback in the AFC South?
No, we're saying AFC South.
Yeah.
AFC specific.
Fourth.
I mean, I think
what the no way, Jonah.
Matt Ryan. Ryan
Ryan
Tannehill. Definitely better than him right now. And Davis Mills outplayed him like crazy last year.
I'm gonna tell y'all Jonah is capping because he's fifth because you're leaving out Malik Willis.
Let's wait on that.
Oh, sorry.
Joking,
He's
I'm
six.
joking.
He's six. There's Nick Foles.
I am
Big
joking.
Dick Nick.
I expect Trevor to be fighting for the one.
Yeah, in the season, where's Trevor, Jonah?
The end of the season?
Yeah.
3. He's not passing Matt Ryan and Ryan Tannehill. He'll pass one of them. But he's not going to pass Davis Mills.
You're saying Davis Mills is going to stay up there?
Yeah. Yeah, I have more faith in Davis Mills based on last season than I do Trevor Lawrence. Because Trevor Lawrence struggled last year, and they didn't put enough talent around him.
But I think he's going into the season the second best quarterback in this division, and I think he'll be the best by the time this season's over.
I don't know if he's going in. Well, I wouldn't put him second best from what we saw last year. I think he might be coming into the season the best. Like, honestly, he might just come in. He might have an offense he knows and likes and everything. He has weapons he knows and likes. He's going into the season with Travis, which I'm sure feels more comfortable than James Robinson. He can just do more things than James Robinson can.
It's a very scout perspective.
His head coach isn't fucking butt fingering some girl through her jeans.
Yeah, like his head coach is in the office instead of at a club, not kicking their kicker.
Not flying home with the boys. Yeah, I don't know. I like the Jags more than I thought I would going into this. Jonah,
I just don't. I don't.
Me.
My reason, and this is why I'll leave it in playoff football as the Copium. I'm just like, I don't know how they stop people defensively. Can any of y'all name a DB for the Jags?
Tyson Campbell.
That guy.
Wait.
I like Tyson Campbell.
He's not even a starter for them.
He should be.
Okay. We've talked about the Jags.
He was their second round pick last year.
We've talked about the Jags enough, guys. Let's move.
I mean, yeah, he's out of. I know you're talking about. He's the corner out of Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was. We threw all over him, but yeah.
All right. Let's move.
Okay, so wait, we're going Titans, right?
We're gonna move the Titans next. So, I mean, looking at this, I think the biggest thing we need to say isn't about who they got; it's about who they lost. They lost AJ Brown in a pretty big draft night trade. I mean, honestly, they sent him to the Eagles. I don't remember what they just got picks back for him, right? I believe so.
Yeah, unless I'm forgetting something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. So,
they then went and instantly traded for Woods.
I didn't even know Robert Woods got traded to the Titans. So
yeah, 23, 6th round pick.
I do vaguely remember that this happened.
A first and a third round pick.
So what do we?
Oh, you're talking about AJ?
Yeah.
So just talking about their additions and some of their subtractions.
I think Traylon Burks has big shoes to fill. I think it's going to be interesting to see how quickly he can step up for him.
How does Morgan Cox, the long snapper, affect this team?
No, he's really what's holding them together.
Thank God.
Him and Randy Bullock.
Thank God. But I mean, realizing now that they got Robert Woods, which I'm pretty sure I knew, I just completely forgot about. I'm not as scared as I was literally 2 seconds ago about the Titans season. I don't know.
I'm in disagreement with you there.
Really?
Yeah, I do not. I think they got a lot worse. I think you people don't realize. So AJ Brown was obviously balling, and I think
people.
Huh?
You just called me you people. That offended me.
Yeah, well, you are you people.
What the
What's it
fuck?
called? I think people just really don't kind of count whether Julio is balling or not, the impact he has when he's on the field, especially as the second option. Like the everything was on easy mode for Ryan Tannehill. You're handing the ball off to one of the best running backs. You're throwing to one of the best receivers. You have one of the other best receivers as a option. Like everything was just going well. You
I'm
had
not allowing you to say Julio's another another best receiver in the league.
Okay, I think the point
historically
you're
for
trying to make,
sure.
the point you're trying to make is
Well-
is hurt by the fact that Julio was hurt half the season.
Yeah, but then they also had Frisco, who they don't have anymore.
Fuck
They
that
went
guy.
and substituted that with Austin Hooper, who I am not high on. I don't think Austin Hooper can block with a leg. Go look at his film with the Falcons. He sucked. He can only catch.
No, but that's what Jeff Swaim is for. He's their blocking tight end.
Yeah, and that doesn't work. Teams will pick up on it. When it's like, hey, he's going to be in here to block. It's like, okay, so they're running. Jeff Swaim is not a risk in the pass game. So I'm not. Yeah, I'm playing run here. I'm worried about the run.
My Copium take is Swain has 6 touchdowns this year.
I mean, that would be a copium take.
I mean, somebody has to carry the offensive load, and he had 3 last season.
Yeah.
It's not out of the realm of possibility that he doubles that.
I would say I'm pretty negative on the Titans. Tannehill's that guy.
What about Treylon Burks? What do you think about him? SEC boy.
I don't think he fits what they do.
What type of? Do you know what type of receiver he is?
He's fast. He's a fast guy.
He's a fasty.
And I just don't think he fits them. I think like the guys they love, I think the guys that fit them are AJ Browns. I think if they could have somehow gotten like Debo like that,
He ran a 4.55.
That's not that bad. He's football fast.
Yeah, I mean, from my understanding, he's maybe I'm thinking of the wrong guy with him, but I'm pretty sure he is.
Click him. 6'2", 225. Big. It's just big, smooth, and natural. I feel like
Look at the NFL comp.
It's AJ, right?
No, it's AJ Brown.
No, that's what I said. AJ.
With more wiggle.
Yeah.
Wow, Jake, you're supposed to be our SEC guy, and you just fucking fucked us hard.
AJ Brown is fast. I don't know where we're. AJ Brown's straight line speed, but I don't think he's AJ Brown. I just don't think he's that.
Well, why would they comp him like that? You tell me the NFL Network is wrong?
Yeah, they've done
You mean you don't trust Lance Zierlein?
Yeah. What about? It's like the kicker. He's brothers.
It's not spelled the same.
All right. I know Jake is fucking. He's been dying to talk about him. Let's hear Malik Willis. Let's hear how he's gonna. Let's hear
Wait,
about how he's gonna start. We need Joe. We gotta get to it now. He's gonna be talking.
What
for 20
about
minutes.
Westbrook? Westbrook Ikeen. Thought you liked him.
Who, me?
No, Jake.
Huh?
I thought you liked Westbrook Ikeen.
No, not after that unfortunate night.
Oh my God! You make one dumb bet, now you hate him. Okay.
No, I mean, I was mean, but
He didn't make.
Ryan,
He fucked me. Fuck you, Jonah. He fucked me. He didn't make a wrong bet. He fucked my bet. That's worse. There's no sorrow that comes to Jake. He fucked me out of money.
Their receiving unit, and I know they don't play heavy receiver. Like, it's just bad. What if Robert Woods gets injured? What do they do?
I agree. That depth chart is scary thin.
You have one receiver who has been good in an offense with one of the best OCs in the league and a team that has always been able to run the ball and everything. And I get it. The Titans can always run the ball. So that's, I guess, what they're thinking is going here. But they scheme to get their guys open a lot more than the Titans do, I feel like. And then you have another guy, you're just like, hey, he's a rookie. We think he's going to be like A.J. Brown. Oh, we should be fine. But there's a sense of like you can't, guys with like A.J. Brown, Debo, you can't comp to them because the thing that you're comping is traits. But the thing that makes them special is like their dog, their fight in them. And I just don't think you can, I don't think you can find that. Yeah, I don't think you can just see that in a draft analysis. I think and maybe the Titans did their homework and they feel like he is that. I just don't, because I don't think there were a lot of those guys at Arkansas. I just didn't see it out.
I mean, I don't know. I'm getting Jake's copium take for the Titans, but I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think at the end of the day, the Titans are gonna run the fuck out of the ball with the best running back in the league, no debate. If he can stay healthy this year, which hopefully he can. Law of averages, maybe maybe points to him staying healthy.
I think there is a debate, and I think we're about to get to it in a second.
I
But
think
keep going.
I think they run the ball really well. The defense is still pretty solid. And at the end of the day, they still have a great coach. So it's like, I feel like this team, as much as honestly I was very down on them, but I think the Robert Woods addition, they got the Arkansas guy. Hopefully he'll pan out. I mean, I don't think a lot of people thought AJ Brown was the not as good as the two receivers when that draft happened. So I think the Titans, maybe they know what they're doing besides what I think of one receiver that used to play for the Titans. But so I think at the end of the day, I think this team is going to still be good. I think they're going to be probably fighting for a wild card spot because we haven't gotten to them yet. But I think the Colts will probably be a little bit better. But I think the Titans might take one step back. But I feel like Jake's passing on his narrative that they're taking 4 or 5 steps back. But let's hear your Copium take, Jake. As we jump over.
Yeah, so I think I like Malik guy, and I think
he starts?
No, but I think that is a negative to the team in the moment.
Okay.
Because I think it's
any chance they use him like a Taysom Hill?
No, I don't think no.
Okay.
I don't think there's a chance. And look, I've been talking negative about the Titans, but talking negative about the Titans, they're still the Titans, and they're still playing the Jags and Texans most weeks, or at least 4 times, So I mean, if I wanted to be like the most copium take I could take with them, I could put them in outside looking in, but they're not that. They're playoff.
Is this negative copium?
Yeah.
I would put them. I would put them though in playoff hopeful. I don't think they're a lock playoff team. I don't think they're a contender really. I don't see them as a contender. I do not think they are better than they were last year. And when they needed to score last year, they couldn't.
Okay. So, what do you think, Jonah? Yours doesn't matter because I agree. I think they're going to be a playoff hopeful, but
I think this is a lot of negativity for a team that only lost A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. I think their defense is just as good as it was last year, if not slightly better. The offense, while the passing game is interesting, somebody's going to need to step up that didn't last year. Because I don't think they're going to be able to get Robert Woods and Treylon Burks to just be amazing out of the gate. They still have Derrick Henry. I'm just going playoff team.
Okay. Well, doesn't
I mean, they were the number 1 seed last year. They just rolled through teams in the regular season. They just faltered in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, it's it's interesting. I think again, I just think I'll ask this last question before we move on to the Colts. Does anyone have an argument that Mike Vrabel wasn't the best coach in the South?
Oh, I mean, I don't know.
What do you mean?
No love for Lovey?
I just haven't. I mean, I don't feel confident. I like Reich. I think he's always done a good job with the Colts. I mean,
but I think Vrabel is just he's been so much better for the Titans. I feel like he's made a very
like only one of them's won a Super Bowl.
One of the coaches has won a Super Bowl. One of them's made it to the Super Bowl. And
Vrabel's won a Super Bowl.
Not as the head coach.
As a player.
Has he ever done it as a coach?
He said he cut his dick off to win a Super Bowl. Is right doing
he might be the most dedicated, but that doesn't mean he's the best.
So I don't like this Vrabel slander. I feel like Jake's.
I don't think there's a single one of those guys that is above the other for sure.
Wow, I think Vrabel's like a top 5 coach probably, maybe top 10 in the NFL.
What separates him from the other guys?
I just feel like from what I listen with the boys. I listen to a lot of them, and they just speak so highly on Vrabel. And I've heard him talk. I think he's got came from New England. He's really brought that New England mindset. I feel like to the Titans, and they have a very, very, very strong culture going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, Lovie Smith's one of the most respected head coaches in the NFL. I mean, I'm
going to bring us down real quick.
No.
The Cowboys had Jason Garrett for an entire decade, and the players spoke so highly of him, but we were ass.
Sure.
The players respecting you doesn't make you good.
But Vrabel, I mean, they've been right there.
I think Vrabel's a
I
very
don't know
good
that they're
head
any more
coach.
successful than the Cowboys were under Jason Garrett.
I think Vrabel's a very good head coach.
No
I don't
fucking
think there's a coach.
chance.
I don't think there's a coach in that division though. I wouldn't want as a head coach.
Fuck, dude. Fuck it. I'm changing my shit. The Titans are a playoff team. Let's go, Jonah. Let's ride, baby. Let's fucking ride. Fuck you, Jake.
Sorry, I didn't think Mike Vrabel's leaps and bounds better than any of the other
I
head
don't like
coaches
this
who had as
slander,
much
dude.
success as them.
I love Vrabel.
It's not
baby.
slander. It's
I
not.
hope
I'm
the
not saying
Titans win the damn
Vrabel's.
Super Bowl.
I'm not lowering Vrabel at all. I'm lifting up the other guys that for whatever reason
Super
you have
Bowl
negative connotation
contender,
of.
the Titans, baby. Bro,
Like I just
all right.
what makes you like him so much more than the other guys? You hear positive about him because you watch a podcast of people who like him.
Yeah,
But,
but
like-
they've also been there every time for like the last 3 years.
Oh.
They had the first year they weren't even supposed to be good, and they went on a crazy run. They beat New England, and they were just right
mean,
there in that.
They made the playoffs literally the year before he got there.
But it's just different. I just feel like they've.
They built a good roster, and he has maximized with that roster. But I'm not convinced he's maximized with it any more than any of the other coaches in that division would have.
All right. I think we've touched on the Titans enough. Let's move on to the Colts. Then we can get back to the end of this and talk about who's going to win the division.
I think it's going to be obvious when the tier plays out.
Let's jump into the. What do you mean? Let's jump into the Colts. First pickup they got, Big Dig Nick. That's all that matters. Let's move them into contenders. Let's move on to the NFC.
Well, only
Not
to
even the
get
better
there.
of the
You just have to
QBs
put him
they
in.
got.
They just got to get him in the back.
I got fucking Big Dig Nick. I've heard the fucking rumors. Heard the rumors, Jonah. But we'll talk about the other guy, I guess. I got Matt Ryan, whose nickname's not Big Nick. So I'm like Matty Ice. Cringe. Boring. Copium tank is they get 2 wins. Nothing else happens. I go to bed. Sag.
Okay. So, on a realistic note,
Okay.
Matt Ryan is just a much stabler version of what they had last year. He's not going to
Agreed.
go out there and sprain both his ankles on one play.
True.
He might. You don't know.
He might. He knows he might.
Yeah.
Matty
I
Ice
don't know.
He
Maybe
moves-
maybe Frank Reich just he's a bad coach. Puts you in the bad situation.
There's a pretty funny mic'd up of Matt Ryan run into the sideline to play receiver on like a gimmick play, and he tripped as he ran out. He might have sprained both his. That might happen. He might sprain both his ankles on that play this year. I don't think you prepared for that, Jonah. But
No, I really wouldn't be.
that's a shame, Jonah. That's a shame. That's a shame, Jonah. That's a shame. But we'll continue down the line. We'll continue. Get Matt Ryan, like Jonah said. I think he's definitely a more stable player, especially for what the Colts are probably going to be. They bring Mo Alley Cox back, the big boy. Never played football, only played basketball. And then we're gonna.
I wish Mo Alley Cox actually was more consistent.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just a matter of involvement. He's never had a good enough QB trying to throw him the ball, but he just seems like he disappears too often.
And then I think the biggest thing too is these two, pretty massive defensive ads they got to an already pretty stellar defense. You know.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I didn't realize they
Gilmore.
traded Rock Ya-Sin for him.
But they replaced Rock Ya-Sin with Stephon Gilmore. Please don't. I don't know what kind of copium you would fucking be huffing if you think Rock Ya-Sin is a better Stephon Gilmore. Because he's not. Rock Ya-Sin, I keep saying Rock Ya-Sin. But
Stephon Gilmore over the hill.
he's not. I mean, he's not.
I don't know.
He's like walking his first few steps down the hill. Maybe Rock Ya-Sin is still looking real high up that hill.
So he's only gonna get better. I mean, what the heck?
Rock Ya-Sin just found out there was a hill.
Ooh.
I mean, you're both just telling me that Rock Ya-Sin's gonna be amazing. This metaphor's falling apart.
All name team for sure.
Does have a good name.
But Yannick Ngakoue is a very, very cool piece to have added to this team. I really think that trade is worth it.
I mean, that D-line is fucking spooky.
It is.
There's a spooky D-line they definitely can get after the, which I felt like was at times a problem for the Colts. I mean, this was the Colts last season. Talking about what they were last season, were a team that for all intents and purposes should have made the playoffs. They had to beat the Jags the last week, and they just
yeah, but they can't win in Clowntown.
Yeah, I mean, so I mean, I don't want to jump into.
I mean, it's kind of the ultimate test for whether or not you should make the playoffs. If you can't beat the Jaguars, you don't deserve the playoffs.
They have the same issue to me that the Titans have, although they're better on defense, I think. But
I definitely agree with that.
No,
I think their receivers are even worse.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's jump in. We'll talk about it a little bit. They did draft Alec Pierce.
Ooh,
from
Kiki
Cincinnati.
QT might be an interesting end of depth guy who might be able to contribute.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe Paris Campbell finally does something.
I don't know if QT travels.
Huh.
I mean, he's good enough to. I think they might just like the other guys more. But I don't think Kiki needs to, because I think he adds a little more to you. I think he can do special teams, and I'm not sure if all their other receivers can.
Yeah. I still think this is a team that should get Julio Jones.
Like Mike Strachan is a guy they really like at receiver, but I just don't know if he can play for them. Unless he ends up winning a one spot. I just don't know if he can do it, because in my head, I don't know if he can give you the stuff on special teams you need. And if you can't be a bench guy, you can't be a rotation guy not giving any value on special teams. You just don't have the numbers.
Yeah. I mean, do you think the Colts are one receiver trade or pick up from being very good?
Ooh.
What if the Colts somehow formulate? I mean, they've been aggressive clearly in the trade market. What if they form some trade to get Debo?
Then maybe, because Debo fits them very well.
Is Debo still
Yeah, I mean, I think as
on
of
the
2
move?
days ago, people were talking about the Colts making a push for Debo. And
I do want to say one draft pick I see that we hadn't talked about yet was Jelani Woods. That's an interesting tight end for
another
them.
fucking huge tight end.
I don't know how immediately he'll be able to contribute. He got a depth chart to work his way up, but I think that's a very interesting receiver.
I think they should just put one out wide, put both of them on the opposite sides out wide, and just throw fades to them all the way down the field. What do you guys think?
I'm just gonna go out there with slow Julio and just gonna go back to Matty Ice's prime.
That's the other thing. What if they bring Julio in?
That's what I was saying. I think bringing in Julio instantly makes me feel very confident in this team.
Bringing in Julio and trade for Debo? Now, might put them in contender then.
Do you think? Oh, okay. I think that's a good place to jump to the tier list. I'm gonna hover, Jake, and you tell me where we're gonna go. If they get Debo, where they go?
Playoff team.
Okay. If they get Julio and Debo?
I mean, legitimately probably a contender.
What if they just get Julio?
They're probably a playoff team.
I would also put them a playoff team, but I would say a high playoff team. I think, jumping into the division debate, I think they win this division this year. I think they're pissed. I think all the players are pissed off that they didn't make the playoffs last year. I think the consistency of the quarterback play is going to really help this team. They were in so many games, I feel like, where Carson Wentz just did some dumb shit. And, he threw the pick on, the 1 yard line.
Yeah, and that's why they went and got Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, for the most part, isn't going to do stuff dumb. But he will. I mean, yeah, it's fun.
They're still going to run the hell out of the ball with a great running back.
Yeah, now.
And let's get to that real quick. Let's get to Jonathan Taylor. Because Jonathan Taylor right now, I think, is going to be better than Derrick Henry this season.
Oh, wow.
Woo!
Wow. How much Copium's fucking going? Is the pedal already...
I genuinely think that
you
if
say
this team
better,
if this
what do you
team
mean?
is like the 1 or 2 seed, Jonathan Taylor gets MVP votes.
Wow.
Don't know if he wins. It's hard for a running back to win, but I think he gets votes.
We're not going to talk about fantasy yet, but I just want everyone to know I had a chance to get him before his ascendance, and I'm sad.
Yeah, when you say better, you mean like in a fantasy sense, or in like a hey, if I got to pick one of them right now, I'm taking Jonathan Taylor.
Both. I just genuinely think Jonathan Taylor in all aspects this season is going to be better than Derrick Henry.
I do not.
I think this team is going to be less one-dimensional, and it's going to be more accommodating to him than Derrick Henry's situation in Tennessee. And I think Jonathan Taylor is just fresher.
I think
He
he's
just doesn't
gonna
have all the
catch
carries
I
that
think he's
Henry
gonna
does.
catch a lot less balls this year.
You think
Who's gonna take those catches away from him?
I think that's what you get when you have a quarterback that's competent instead of Carson Wentz.
Okay.
I think he will get less catches, but I still think he's going to be amazing. And I think
Yeah.
I think Jonah has an argument that like Jonathan Taylor's a. I'm probably going to get pushback from Jake on this, but I think Jonathan Taylor is a lot more complete running back that can do stuff in the passing game and the running game more than Derrick can. Not that Derrick's bad. I don't think Derrick's as bad as everyone likes to say, but I think Jonathan Taylor's like a legit. He's like a legit dual threat running back to like. Even back to when we were talking about like when Le'Veon was in his prime, like
The difference is with the tight ends, it is Derrick Henry. The Colts now with Matt Ryan, not necessarily. Jonathan Taylor's usage will be down significantly this year.
But
He will still be used, but they had to use him because it was their only chance to stay competitive. Now they can be competitive without him.
my argument isn't. I'm not arguing stats. Derrick Henry, if he stays healthy, is gonna. They just give the ball to him too damn much. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the eye test between the two. If I'm making a team, I'm picking the guy that I think is gonna be the way more well-rounded player that can do more stuff with.
Yeah, if you want to make that argument, that's fine. But my point being is with Jonah's argument of getting MVP votes, I don't think there's a chance.
Okay.
Well, no, he might get MVP
I don't
votes.
think
I don't
I
think
don't
there's a
think
chance
this
he
is-
would be in the running. If let's say you have a 14-3 Titans team and a 14-3 Colts team, who's more likely to win MVP, Derrick Henry or Jonathan Taylor? And the answer is Derrick Henry every time.
I don't think the touch distribution is going to change as much as you think it was. Carson Wentz hogged that ball as much as he could.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to. I think Matt's gonna have to. Matt knows his limits. He's gonna get the ball out a lot quicker. And I feel like that could mean to more Jonathan Taylor.
Although I
So
will
they
say
go
Naheem
use-
Hines is going to be in a lot of those
Hines
situations.
a lot more. Yes.
And so
Yeah.
some of those catches are going to go to Naheem Hines.
I think they realized, hey, you know what? We don't need another running back who can really run the ball.
God,
And that's why they were fine with letting Marlon Mack go. They said we want another guy that can take some of the catches out of the backfield, and that's why they said get rid of Marlon, keep Hines. It also makes sense to me because that makes more sense on going and getting Phillip Lindsay too.
Yeah, Hines seems like but the Phillip Lindsay pickup almost makes me like. I feel like Hines would just get Shanahan's dick so hard.
Phillip Lindsay does not matter unless somebody gets hurt.
Am I wrong? Don't you think? Like, I feel like the Niners would love someone like him. Add him to
He's definitely interesting. He doesn't have the downhill running they seem to like to also have in their running backs though.
Yeah, but I feel like they would use
like
him.
Mostert and crap. Who's the Sermon?
I'm confused. Where did we put
Sermon are both like downhill guys too.
We decided playoff team, I think.
You
said.
So
I agreed.
Well, no,
my opinion was never
asked
given.
me,
But
yeah, and you only asked me with additions to the team. You didn't ask me with where they're at right now.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Give me where they're at right now.
So, Jonah, you want to go?
yeah, I'll go first. I have them as a playoff team. If they get Julio, I think they're still a playoff team, just a better playoff team. If they get Debo, then I think they go into contender.
Yeah, I think that they get any type of receiver that's any way decent, they're contenders.
So
That
I
defense
think
is
they're
insane.
a playoff hopeful.
Oh.
I don't know if I think they are worse on offense this year, but I think that's not fair. I don't think they're worse on offense. I think they are more limited on offense this year, and then I think they're probably a hair better on defense.
Or limited.
But yeah, I think they're going to be. I don't think they can do everything. See, I don't think they have.
Wait, what do you think? What do you think actually changes for them then?
They have less receivers to work with that can actually.
Who'd they have last year? They don't now.
They had a blanking.
They had a 900-year-old T.O.I. Hilton, but that really didn't matter.
That was banged up. Didn't really do much for them.
How dare you, Jonah?
Who am I forgetting now? Where?
I don't think the Colts depth chart at wide receivers changed much.
No, they just added the one
is it-
guy, and it's just Michael Pittman and him.
Let me check.
They
to make
did
sure.
lose Zay Jones. Is that who you're trying to think of?
Pascal. They lost
Oh no,
Pascal
that's not.
too.
They're the same player.
Yeah. And then I mean, tight end, you lose a lot, obviously.
I mean,
Because what? Because Baby Hands retired?
Yeah, you lose Doyle. I mean, Mo Alley Cox has not been consistent for them at any.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. But Jack Doyle doesn't really put up numbers.
I mean, Jack Doyle was. I'm not, maybe I'm tripping. And
I mean,
how
he's
I
a lot more
remember him,
consistent and he's reliable. But he's never put up crazy numbers.
no, but I mean that's not what you look. I mean that's not their tight
I think
end.
the upgraded quarterback outweighs all their losses.
Yeah, see, Matt Ryan to me, his upgrade is minor. What he does is he makes a few less bad decisions.
I think we agree here.
But I also think what he does, and this is because he's a better quarterback, but I actually think it affects the team negatively, is I think he gets the ball around more. And with their team, because Jonathan Taylor's their only guy, I think that's a negative for them. And that kind of stems to what I
think it's interesting.
Ago,
I think Michael Pittman might be able to do more.
Pittman has shown flashes for sure, so I'm not.
I'm curious if Matt Ryan can throw him open at times, just because he's definitely going to be the only guy they're focusing on in the passing game.
You get what I'm saying? Like almost having to rely on Jonathan Taylor last year was better for the Colts' success, I think, than having a Matt Ryan who will try to make the smarter play at times, but it may cost Jonathan Taylor getting the ball.
What if a guy like Paris Campbell, who's kind of been hurt in and out, finally is able to stay healthy and play?
Harris has shown flashes. I mean, I liked him. I was big on him last year before.
Apparently, I was just looking him up.
I got him in
now.
like 3 of my 4 leagues.
Yeah, just now when you guys were talking, I looked up. He's camp standout right now.
Yeah.
If he shows up and he plays real well and plays that kind of slot role which I feel like Matt Ryan at this point in his career is gonna love, and he uses that speed. Like, do you think they still need to get a receiver? Let's say Paris Campbell. The Copium take is Paris Campbell plays very well as a third guy, takes a lot of pressure off Pittman, takes a lot of pressure off the rookie.
Well, another thing is Alec Pierce is very unknown too. Alec Pierce is supposed to be big for them.
Yeah, he's the other guy that supposedly is doing well.
But you just never know with the rookie either. So
yeah, no, especially a second round rookie.
This is where it seems to me. I would have them as a playoff hopeful, which if you realize I had everyone as a playoff hopeful except for the Texans, where it was in and out of playoff hopeful outside looking in. My view on this division is it is completely wide open. It would not shock me if a single one of these teams won the division.
I very much disagree.
I think this is a 2-team race.
I think it's a 2-horse race. I think it's a 2-horse race in both directions. I think the Jaguars and Texans are competing for the lower draft pick, and the Colts and Titans are competing for the division.
No, I think any of the 4 could win it this year.
Honestly, and this is not even a copium. I mean, I guess it technically is, but my take is I think the Colts have this bitch wrapped up 3 weeks left in the season. Like, I think it'll be done. It'll be their division. They'll be resting their guys like the last week.
I don't know that.
I don't know statistically if it'll be locked up, but I'm saying, like, if you look at it and you're doing the eye test, I think it's locked up. I think it's going to be way too hard for the Colts. We're looking at the last 3 games or last 4 games, and it's like you just look at it and you go, I don't know how the Colts lose blah 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 amount of games.
My Copium take is the exact opposite. The last week of the season, this is the most exciting division in the NFL because 3 of the teams are still in it.
Wow, I can't.
All right, that's a wild opinion that I cannot even
agree with. Jags, Titans, Colts.
That's the Copium take.
I don't agree with either of you necessarily. I just the Titans were such a good regular season team last year, and they went long stretch of the season without AJ Brown and without Julio Jones. So I think they can continue to just win those regular season games.
I mean, at the end of the day, for me, I'm looking at the defense of the Colts versus this offense of the Titans, and I feel like they'll be able to stop them.
Yeah.
Like if none of the receivers can really step up and like fill that AJ Brown role, and now they have fucking Stephon Gilmore guarding them, like what happens? They're just running the ball every play. Like the Colts are good enough interior wise that they can stop that shit and make them have to do one or the other. Enough to where I think it's gonna really hurt the Titans in 2 games in the season. Like I don't think the Colts. I think the Colts. I don't think they drop a game to the
So
Texans, and I honestly don't think they'll drop one to the Jags because I
so
think
real
they're gonna
quick,
be pissed off.
last season the Titans won both games,
That will not
and
happen.
they played both of them without. One was without AJ Brown, and one was without Julio.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah,
that's the only difference between
I'm gonna
last
be
year's
honest.
roster
I
for the Titans and
really
this year's.
don't care about the last year teams because they're different.
I
Also,
don't
you keep
think the
saying
Titans
that they're
are that
not any
different.
different. They changed up half of their all. Like they don't have Frisker anymore. That's a big change.
Fuck that
I
guy.
get like you are now rolling it with Austin Hooper instead of Frisker. Frisker was a both ways tight end who could block and receive and was a good athlete. Austin Hooper can only catch. You are changing up the core. They now have a tight end that is opposite of what I feel like Vrabel and his team normally is. You have a non-physical tight end. I do not trust that that is going to be a good benefit for them. I think that tight end addition is going to be a big negative for them and hurt them. I don't think their O-line is going to be playing as well. I feel like Luan has been dropping off a little bit as it's gone.
How dare you? That's a
Yeah,
bus
I
and
know.
I mean, I do agree, but
Best
I
season.
just
Jake,
don't
Jake,
think
I
that-
don't think Ferkser matters at all. I think Jeff Swaim, who statistically was better, I think is going to be just fine.
No, I don't care necessarily about statistics though. If you talk, I think Frisker did a lot for them that people don't.
We'll
I
see.
think,
Where'd Ferkser play? Why do you like this guy so much?
I think he played Arizona if I remember right.
Harvard.
Was it Harvard?
Oh my god, he's so smart. He's a brainiac. So who's winning the division, Jake? Pick it right now.
Oh, winning the division.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm gambling, like I'm putting money on it. The safe bet is the Colts.
Okay.
I think.
Jonah?
Oh, Colts.
I would agree. Now we're not gambling. Who do you no safe bets. I want your true bet. Jake, I want your true bet.
If I'm going like,
Your
hey,
heart.
boss, I'm picking one.
He's about to say the Jaguars.
There's no way the Jags win this division.
I have trust issues with the Jags. I don't really trust them.
Are we just like am I the only one that understands how good this Colts defense is?
No, it's very good.
They didn't change anything besides losing Rock Ya-Sin with they traded a defensive
They
player of the
upgraded-
year
they upgraded
corner
the corner
and they
signed
added
Copium.
a top tier pass rusher. They lost a solid corner and filled him in with let me say it again, defensive player of the year corner and a great pass rusher. To an already top five defense.
we all just said we would pick the Colts to win the division. If we're being,
But
hey,
no, you just said you didn't. You said
I said
if
if
I
I'm-
was a
if I'm
betting
being-
man, where
Yeah.
I'm like picking the most likely. I want your heart of hearts answer. You didn't give me your heart of hearts answer. You're sitting here stumbling your words.
yeah. Well, I'm trying to not get the betting is my safe like that's my answer. I would realistically take. Now I'm trying to give you one where it's like, hey, this is like it's not full copium, but it's a little bit copium. It's like, hey, if the Colts don't do what they should do, if the Colts don't take care of business like they should, then this is the team that I would have to go. I think the Colts should take care of business. They should be the team that goes. Like if I said I put them all in playoff hopeful pretty much, the Colts would be the top one. And then after that, now I'm sitting here and I don't know.
Okay. Well, I think that's gonna do it for the AFC South. We're running at an hour and 16. I think in copium spirit, we had our mouth was bigger, or what was it? What's the
I
saying?
think we go.
Our eyes were bigger than our stomach.
Yeah, our eyes were bigger than our stomach.
I think we go.
I don't think we should. We took an hour and we took an hour. We'll take 15. We'll take the 17 minutes off for the NBA. I think this is good. I think people will enjoy this.
And I don't think the South will take as long, personally. And I think it's better if you have two in it. Because like otherwise it's just like
Jake, I think we all disagree though. Because I think the Jaguars aren't even worth talking about, and you wanted to talk about them like crazy.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna very much disagree on that.
I think, regardless of what Jake wants, this was episode 2 of the Copium Take. If we this could all be in vain. This might not even make it. We might cut this. Jake might throw a temper tantrum. I might throw a temper tantrum. Who knows? But I'm gonna close it here. Follow, subscribe, download, like on all the shit, whatever you see. If you like what you hear, if you don't like what you hear, do it anyways. Help the kids out. See you next episode where we'll talk about the NFC South. And if Jake gets his way, we might talk about 3 more divisions. See you then.
We just knock out the whole league. Jags win.
We're gonna knock out the whole league, like Jake said. See you then.